I'd try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. I think I'll do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through, get you out of your comfort zone, 'cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. Don't forget it, don't forget it, don't forget it. We'll turn this around. Don't forget it, don't forget it, don't forget it. We'll turn this around.
There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games now. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games now. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games now. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want.
There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want.
What's up, y'all? Sean here. I completely messed up that intro, so sorry about that. But welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Tonight we got a pretty good show. There was no doubt what I was going to talk about tonight. The world has been turned around on their head because DJI introduced a new drone, and I feel like it's one of those drones that has the impact that the DJI Mavic Pro did. Just because I feel like it's a game changer. I talked about this on another live stream a couple weeks ago, that I've been trying to get into FPV for the last several months. Actually, I probably bought that Bumblebee right back there. I probably bought that maybe in April or May. And that was my start in FPV. And I haven't really gotten very far in it. So what we're going to talk about tonight is all the things that I love about this drone. A couple things I don't like too much about it, but I feel like, you know, for a guy that's purchased folding drones and you know, just photography GPS drones for a while, for 4 years, it's nice that there's something new in the market. Something new that I don't have to buy for myself, something that you know, I can get an insurance policy on. I can wreck it and get a DJI refresh and they'll send me another one. So there's not a lot of learning curve with this drone. There is some learning curve, but we're going to get into that. But I'm super excited about this drone. And I'm not one of the reviewers that got to play with it for the last 4 months. I am the guy that will have to sell one of my kids to pay for this drone. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that, but I probably won't review it until my birthday, or we do our taxes or something like that. But I've got a computer, I've got an Xbox, I got several things that I can sell, but I probably won't have it next week. So I'm also a little rushed. Taco Bell was super slow tonight, and the Taco Bell by my house has one of those drive-throughs that you're kind of stuck in once you get in it, because it has curbs on both sides, and there's like a spillway. The whole parking lot, like all the sewage from the parking lot goes to the right of the drive-through, and there's a building on the left, and like you just can't get out of it. There's no way you can get out once you're in it. And I couldn't tell if the lobby was open or not, because it just looked like, you know, everybody that worked at Taco Bell was just kind of hanging out in the lobby. So I've got one more taco to eat and some nacho fries. So I apologize for eating in front of you, but that's just how it went tonight. And then I had a new countdown ready for you guys. And that, like, the one you watched tonight was kind of like an interim. But StreamYards allows you to upload 10-minute videos. And like an idiot, I made a 10-minute countdown and then put my intro on the end of it, which made it like, I don't know, like 10 minutes and 5 seconds. So it was just a little bit over. It was still under the size limit, but anyway. Yeah, they're not nachos fries. They're actual nacho fries, which are amazing, by the way. If you have not had nacho fries from Taco Bell, they're my favorite fry. Second is the fries at KFC that have like the original recipe on the outside of the fries. Those are my second favorite. And then McDonald's is my third favorite. McDonald's is my favorite overall regular potato fry, but nacho fries from Taco Bell are ridiculous. So we are going to talk about this tonight. So stay tuned. I am super excited about the stinking pause button. I'm excited about takeoff and landing. And I'm excited about all the things that I don't like to do with my FPV drone. I don't like to take off. I don't. Because you you have to give it a whole bunch of throttle to get it off the ground. But then as soon as you're off the ground, you got to pull back on the throttle because you gave it too much throttle. So like once it like breaks the gravity barrier, I don't know what that is, but once it like gets off the ground, all of a sudden it's like, anyway, I love the fact that there are 3 different modes in here. I'm not sure what's different between the mode that I will probably fly the FPV drone in than the FPV version of the camera on the DJI Mavic Air 2. And I'm curious to see what the difference is with the FPV modes that are in the Paradanafi. Because I feel like when the Paradanafi just added some software updates, then DJI copied them and put an FPV mode in their camera. And then this drone, this hybrid drone that DJI just came out with, I think it's what they've been driving towards, and I'm super excited. A little frustrated it's not a 360-degree camera on the drone, and a little frustrated that they built the body in such a way that it's going to be pretty hard to mount something else to it, and it scares the crap out of me how fast it goes. I don't know if I want to be in the air and go 85 miles an hour. My Unique Typhoon H Plus goes 40 miles an hour, and it scares the crap out of me. Just because there's all the horror stories of drones falling out of the air and hurting people or running into trees or, you know, all that stuff. So, but we'll get into that. I'm going to eat another taco. So talk amongst yourselves. It's been an interesting week. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Since I was rushed tonight, I didn't really clean the table behind me, so I didn't turn the lights on back there. So we're in the dark tonight, and you're going to have to deal with it. I am curious to see what this looks like. That looks pretty good. Working on playing around with overlays, and I'm thinking about maybe selling some StreamYard overlays, or an overlay system, but that is all coming. I've decided to disband the forum. Sad. I was really excited about the forum, and now it's kind of disbanded. Just because the Russians came in and started spamming me. I don't have anything against Russians, but there are all these ads to Russian maids. It was probably just the Democrats. See if I can get a rise out of Nacho. You can see my knuckles. They're all broke. They're all not broke out, but I have no skin on my knuckles anymore because I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. And I don't have the proper parting tools, so I just use a pocket knife. And a lot of brunt force. Oh, those fries are amazing. Let me show you all this fry. Look at all the seasoning on that fry. It's like a spicy fry, but it's taco seasoning. And then you get their nacho cheese, and you dip it in it. That's so good. So you're going to see me eat some fries and some tacos and lick my fingers. And then hopefully by 7, I'll be done with my dinner, and we'll have an awesome show at 7 o'clock. If you haven't been on the channel before, this is the pre-show. This is kind of when I get things ready for the night. I like to get the chat going. There's been, when I started live streaming, there were nights when, only a couple people were here and nobody chatted or nobody said anything. And then I kind of sat here for a half hour without doing anything. So, so I like to just kind of start a pre-show to get everybody talking to each other. I'll mention everybody that's here. Nacho's in the house. He was the first one to respond. He sent me a Facebook message today about how bad he wants this new drone that we're going to talk about tonight. Steven Drones is here. Welcome, Steve. Steve, I wanted to tell you, since I'm doing away with the club, I've actually changed the link on my website to go to a Discord invite. And you can choose whether or not you do the Discord or not, but I think it's going to be, it's a little bit more secure. I don't have to worry about managing who puts ads on it and stuff like that. Like there's security on it and stuff like that. But it'll be a lot easier to upload your videos and upload your photos to it. So super excited about that. And I'll do kind of a run through once I'm done with my taco. All right. Eat More Possum is lurking again tonight. So yeah, he's just going to lurk. He said he'll be on the road during the whole live stream. And yeah, that's it. And Nacho is talking about my bowel movements. There it is. I know I hate talking about politics. I really do. But I'm starting to see America treating the current president with the same love they did the last president. I was afraid we were going to get Biden in and nobody was going to put him under the magnifying glass. But it's nice to see that America's equally hateful towards the current president as they were the last one. So at least we're consistent. But I'm starting to love all the what they said to get elected and then what they're doing. Like pick a president, whoever it is. There's always like promises they make just so they can get elected, and then once they're elected, then they change their mind, or the system does what it does. And it's just so funny to me that all the stuff that's happening right now. But I wish we would just go back to enjoying America instead of judging everybody. So we got 6 people in. And tonight, we're going to talk about the DJI Mavic Air 2. We're going to talk about the Bumblebee back there. We're going to talk about the things that I hate about FPV and the things that I love about FPV. And then we're going to talk about the DJI FPV drone that they announced. We're going to talk about the price. We're going to go through the website and look at the features. And then I'm going to give you my take on it. And a lot of this is going to stem from 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a live stream about everything that I wanted this drone to be. Tonight, we're going to talk about whether I got those things right or wrong, and what this means going forward. Because I enjoy the FPV hobby. I really like looking through the goggles and flying a drone around like a video game. But there's certain things about FPV that I feel like we're still stuck in the 80s, right? Driving around my little remote control car that I got from Toys R Us. Okay. DJI over the last several years has improved battery charging. They've improved, build quality. They've improved stability. They've improved their apps. So there's several things. There's several things that the DJI FPV drone is doing right. Now, we don't know if they fall out of the sky or any of those things, but so far it looks pretty good. So special report, McDrone FPV. What's up? Welcome to the channel. Got his today. This is what he spent on his. $12.99, so $1,299. Then he got the Combo Plus, which added another $299 to that. Then he got 2 years worth of DJI Refresh. Is that correct? For $319. And I'm curious to see what the rules are with the DJI Refresh this time. I know when I purchased DJI Refresh with my original DJI Mavic Air, I could like crash 2 drones and they'd send me another one. And like, if there's any drone that you're going to get DJI Refresh on, this is probably the one to get it. This one seems like, if you forget to hit the pause button or you forget to return to home, or I think it's got an automatic return to home and a fail safe, but still, there's a good chance you can wreck it. But that's great. I am excited to order mine whenever I can afford it. That's a good taco. So I'm really sorry I have to eat in front of you guys tonight. I was expecting my 10-minute countdown to work, but it didn't. So my 7-minute countdown worked. So I lost 3 minutes there. And then Taco Bell was just super late. So let's go ahead and get that ready. I will say, if you'd like to support the channel and you're planning on getting the DJI drone, there's a link. It's the very first link in the description of this live video. It's not going to cost anything extra for you. It might even give you a discount. I don't remember if it gives you a discount or not. Actually, I'm going to check on that right now, because that would be a great incentive for you guys to buy through my channel. Nope, there's no promotion right now, but of course not. I mean, they just released it. But if you're planning on buying the FPV drone and you click on the link in the description of this video, this live stream, you're going to pay the exact same price that you would if you just went straight to DJI's website to purchase it, but you'd really help out the channel, and it would help me get one in the future. I think it's only going to give me like $15 or something, but every little bit helps. So Nacho says, I wish it had full Mavic style modes that worked in normal mode. We're going to talk about that tonight, and some things that I want it to do. We're going to go through a wish list, and maybe DJI will see this and add to their firmware. But DJI is really good at putting autonomous modes in there, and all the sensors they put on this drone, I don't think it's too far off the ability. But we'll see. Some things that are interesting to me is I don't know what the capabilities of the camera is. From all the pictures and the footage that I've seen, the camera looks like the DJI Osmo Action, just because it's the only thing you can do is adjust the tilt up and down. You can't do left and right. They already said that it has rock steady on it, which is what the kind of like Insta360's flow state. Rock steady is what that the stabilization for DJI drones is. So it's in-camera stabilization. There's no gimbal stabilization on it. I feel like there's a little bit of dampening, and I don't know if I don't think there's a gimbal on it. I think the drone or the camera can just tilt up and down. We're going to look at close-ups. We're going to go through all that tonight. But it's 4K, 60 frames per second, like Nacho said. And it's the only camera on the drone. So just like the Caddx Turtle, the air unit, the DJI Air unit records video and sends a video signal at the same time. So there's a lot going on with that camera. But I'm not sure why they didn't put a gimbal on it for normal mode. If they put like a 3-axis gimbal on it, and then the gimbal just locked itself while you were in FPV mode, that might have been a better scenario. But so Special Report McDrone FPV says that single axis gimbal only tilts up and down. Yep. So did I say 6-axis? That's not right. 3-axis is what most drones have. Maybe I'm thinking about 6-axis stabilization. So the camera might have 6-axis stabilization based on the gyro or the accelerometer that's in the camera or on the drone somewhere. Doesn't have to be in the camera. The camera is probably just a lens. But back to this. Nacho wish it had Mavic style modes. What other modes could you do with a fast drone? It seems to me like you could do like a ultra fast orbit. I want waypoints on it. I would love to do a waypoint mission in FPV style. You know, I would love for, I know the mode that I wanted. They didn't say anything about anything like this. But back in the day, my Parrot Bebop, and even the drone that I had before that, the AR drone from Parrot, had automatic flip buttons. Okay? And if you think about this being autonomous, having all these sensors on it, having the telemetry and knowing how high it is, knowing it's at a safe height to do flips, how awesome would it be to hit the flip button and then it automatically does a flip for you? You can do a smooth flip or a strong flip. That's the mode I want. I would love to just do a flip button because I think flips are cool. I wouldn't use them all the time, and I feel like I'm the kind of person that would fly it more from a photography standpoint, a videography standpoint, as opposed to, diving down the side of a building or something like that. So Stephen Drones asked this. We're going to look at the specs on it. I'm not sure the difference between the goggles, the original goggles, and the goggles 2, but we can pull that up right now. Actually, that would be a great idea. We're going to pull the website up and put it on the screen, and then I can finish my taco while y'all look at a picture of the drone. How's that? That'd probably be more professional than me just eating in your face. All right, so we're going to turn. Now we can let's leave that on. We're going to go full screen. Oh no, maybe that's too cluttered. Let's take that off. At least we're branded. So this is the DJI FPV drone. It looks awesome. Something I think that's really interesting is these, the legs are like airfoils. They don't look like airfoils from the front, but if you think on the wing of an airplane, these are designed to create lift. It's got this big bulky body in the middle, which is something that I haven't seen before on DJI drone. It kind of looks like the Inspire with Mavic legs or something like that, but it's really cool. I love the red tips that they added to the edges. I think that's a great little touch. They've got these LEDs. Now the LEDs on the legs are informational. So as you're flying the drone, you use those lights to, they kind of tell the pilot what's going on with the drone. But we're going to see in a minute that the LEDs on the back of the drone, like on these legs, are customizable. So you can, if you've got 3 or 4 of them, I think you can race up to 6 of them at a time. I feel like I saw that spec somewhere, but that might have just been a leak a while back. But you can make each drone a different color, so while you're racing, you can see which one is yours. So Eat More Possum says, I will have it ordered by the end of the week. Is that a challenge? Yeah, I just spent $400 on a 360 camera, man. So Special Report says that you can change out the legs. That's great to hear. I heard you could change out the camera and the props. There's a graphic that we're going to see a little bit lower on the site, and it'll show you all the things that you can swap out. So let's watch this video real quick. Uh-oh. So this is the DJI FPV drone in action. Nice. I was muted. So what do you guys think about that video? I think it looks amazing. Some of the things that stood out on that video was the pause button. That's interesting. I like being able to pause in midair. The flight controller, the little joystick, kind of looks like an Oculus controller. Looks amazing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Steve. It's like it has a wand, but I would say that this controller works a lot more like the Parrot AR drone that I had, my very first drone I ever had. I could control it with my iPad. I don't have my iPad handy, but you could hold the iPad and you could tilt the iPad, and the drone would basically, like if you pointed the iPad forward, the drone would go forward. If you pulled it back, it would come back. So it was very almost natural on how to fly it. Okay. So I think that's awesome. Rip through the clouds with speed, power, and complete control. Go into the beyond and redefine flying. Here's a really good close-up of it. So there's this kind of reminds me of Alien. But you know, it's got this big shell over the top of it. This shell is interchangeable. So right now, I think when you purchase the drone, it comes with a yellow, almost like a Nike yellow, like a neon green type. And when I was looking at leaked photos of this drone, I thought it was going to be like the Spark or the Mavic Air, where you could buy different flavors of it. And that might be the case later, but usually when they launch something, they just have like one version of it. It comes with this smoked plastic. You can see right here that you can see through it a little bit. And then there's like this neon yellow. I don't know that the neon yellow goes with these red tips very well, but I think if they had a red cover, I think it'd be pretty cool. I also see like people taking this off and hydro dipping it in and putting like really cool designs on it and stuff like that. But there's screws everywhere. And on this drone, you're able to take this cover off and get in there and fix things and work on your drone. So a lot of the FPV guys that build their own drones or tune their own drones might like the fact that you can take this thing apart and replace things. It's got three prop propellers. Wait, 3 blade propellers. That's right. So that's different than all the other DJI drones that we have. We have 2 blade props that fold, whereas these do not fold. So they're always in the correct position. This is the camera. The camera just goes up and down. It does not go with the horizon or anything like that. But there is rock steady stabilization in the camera, a lot like a Parrot Bebop drone. It's just, or like a GoPro on a regular FPV drone. The only stabilization that is helping you out is the one in the camera itself. These are the version 2 goggles. We'll look at the specs on the version 2 goggles a little bit later. I'm not sure of all the differences. I do know that this one comes with a battery. I thought whenever I spent like maybe $400, $500 on my goggles, and when I got them and I saw that they didn't even come with a battery, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Why don't they have a battery with them?" So I had goggles I couldn't use. I had to order a battery and get it on Amazon the next day. So anyway, this one comes with a battery. So, woohoo! That's a plus. It comes with a smart battery. The goggle version 1 ran on crappy lipos that might blow up in your house when you're, if you don't know how to charge them correctly, or you don't know how to store them, you might break them. Or we'll get into that rant a little bit later. But I think the refresh rate on the screen is a little bit better. And there might be different software on here, because we'll go down a little further, and there's actually an app that's going to be in your goggles to, just like a simulator that you have on your computer. There's an app for the goggles that you just plug your controller into the goggles and fly just like a video game, to actually learn how to fly in manual mode. Here's the controller. The controller, I think, probably has the same kind of feel that this controller has. But every time they put out DJI puts out great controllers. So I think this one will be pretty awesome. So Nacho says he can't get this drone. He doesn't have any friends to be a spotter. You got Nikki? That's what Brent uses. He uses his dog. But yeah. We might get into some of the rules and laws of drone flying and see where this works out as well. Just because there's line of sight rules, there's visual observers rules. There might be speed laws. I haven't heard the FAA talk about speed, but when you guys were watching this video, or the video that I played a little earlier, up at the top it said, please adhere to local laws on speed. So that might be a thing. I've never thought about speed because my drones never went fast enough, but this one goes pretty fast. And then the DJI motion controller is available now. So it looks like it's got a record button. It's got a joystick on it, which, yeah, I'm not sure what all is happening here, because part of it kind of looks like it almost looks like a zoom. I don't know what's going on here. And I'm not going to talk about something I don't know about. So Nacho said 100 miles an hour. Does that mean that your drone can't go faster than 100 miles an hour, or that's a spec on this drone? All right, so here's another video. Beautiful footage. There is some trickery in there, so I'm not sure what's going on. So let's move past that, but footage looks amazing. So immersive flight experience, so that's with the goggles. 4K 60 frames per second, super-wide FOV. HD low latency transmission. So it has OcuSync 3, which is amazing. And I believe you can go like 6 miles with it or something crazy. And at 80 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour, that's what Nacho's saying, you can get out pretty far pretty fast. Has a brand new S mode, intuitive motion controller, and emergency brake and hover. And I want to talk about this for a little bit. Emergency brake and hover. if you get into a situation that's sticky on a GPS drone, what you do is you just let go of the sticks, okay? And the drone stops and hovers. That is not the case on this drone. On this drone, if you're getting into a sticky situation, you have to hit the pause button. And I feel like some people are going to forget to hit the pause button too late. When I had my first DJI Phantom, I was taking a 3D 360-degree panorama in the sky, and it was long before they added that to the drones. So I was doing it by hand from the sky, and I had like 6 pictures left when I got the low battery warning, and I was like, I just need to take those pictures, and then once I'm done with those pictures, I'll bring the drone down. Well, my battery got critically low when I was coming down, and my drone started coming down into a tree, and instead of just thinking about it and pulling back, I panicked and pushed the stick in the wrong direction and ran right into the tree. So if you get in this, I would practice a little bit on the pause button to make sure. Now it has sensors, so there's a good chance you're not going to hit things, but I've hit several trees with my drones that had sensors on them, just because they got those ninja branches that stick out. But DJI has gotten really good with their sensors, so hopefully it doesn't beep with that annoying beep that all the other drones beep with. Hopefully it'll just stop, and it'll tell you why. FPV has never looked so good. Sleek and aerodynamic, the DJI aircraft delivers powerful propulsion, battery life, and wind resistance, making the system as capable as it is visually stunning. Look how visually stunning that animation is. DJI FPV stands out in more ways than one, sporting front LEDs and aircraft arm lights. With customizable color, DJI FPV allows pilots to make their aircrafts as unique as they are. So if you are purple, you can make the arms purple. It is really cool. I just think that marketing mumbo jumbo is kind of funny. You can make it as unique as. So can I make a fat drone with a beard and thinning hair on top and put a vest on it? No. Sorry. Okay. Next level immersion, unparalleled control. Feel the thrill of immersive flight provided by the DJI FPV goggles version 2 and DJI FPV Super-Wide 150-degree field of view, HD video transmission at up to 120 frames per second gives you an ultra smooth real-time view of your flight. So the DJI goggles, it just says HD video. There's a footnote here. It's not clickable, so we'll have to go down to the footnote and see exactly what HD that is. Let's do that. Oh, no. Let's see the footnote section. All right, it's not in the footnote section, so I wish I hadn't scrolled down here. All right. Oh, it's not too bad. So 120 frames per second. Whether you're a seasoned FPV pilot or a complete beginner, DJI FPV offers 3 intuitive flight modes that let anyone fly confidently from day one. All right, so Nacho found the spec for me. 120 frames per second at 1080, which is awesome. The feed from the air unit that I have on the Bumblebee it feeds at 720, and I got to be honest, it is very good. By the time you put 720 video on your eyeballs, it's a huge, like it's great resolution that close up. So for 120 frames per second at 1080, that refresh rate is insane. Oh, that's not a spec. He guessed. Well, I'm just kidding. We'll look that up later. I want to get into these flight modes. So what S mode does is you get a dynamic look of FPV footage easily in S mode. This hybrid flight mode combines the freedom of flying manually with the simplified controls of previous DJI drones. Now, what I don't know here, if you watch his thumbs right here, he's flying, he's turning with his right stick. His thumb on the left is not moved. So I don't know if he's actually controlling the throttle or if he's just holding the throttle at a specific altitude. But one of the differences, if you're used to flying, GPS drones, you don't have to worry about the throttle at all, right? When you push on the throttle, it takes it up like an elevator to the height that you want it. And then if you let go, it'll just stay on that plane, right? But on FPV drones, the throttle stick is loose. So it doesn't automatically go back to center. It starts from 0 and goes, goes full on. That didn't even make sense. It goes from 0 to 10. All right, so Nacho actually got us a real spec this time. Thanks for doing that, Nacho. No, that's not right either. That's not the transmission. That is the that is what the camera will actually take. But what Steve was asking about was what's the resolution inside of the goggles. And I think it might be 1080, but we'll get to that in a minute. So that what we just talked about was S mode. This is N mode. So ideal for new users. N mode offers immersive flight with traditional drone flight controls, along with DJI safety features like obstacle sensing. So N mode might be the mode that I start out with, just so that I don't run into a tree or hit a bridge or do anything crazy. I will note that this drone does not have any sensors on the top of it. I still don't understand why all these, we put sensors everywhere, but we don't put sensors on top of the drone, especially when you see sample videos of going around a bridge, like going over and under a bridge. It seems to me like sensors on top would be good too. Maybe it does have sensors on the top underneath the shield, but all the sensors that I saw were on the front and the bottom. And most of the GPS drones, that's really all you need. But what's going to keep you from going up into a power line or something like that? All right, so Nacho said low latency mode. Okay, here we go. So 810p, that's weird. I wonder if that's just because of the wide angle, like the type of field of view they chose. So it's a little bit better than 720p, but not much. It's only got 90p more. And I watched Billy Kyle's video, and he flies in high quality mode, and which is probably the mode that I will fly in as well. But low latency mode is 120 frames per second, whereas high quality mode is 60 frames per second. So if you're flying in really tight gaps or you're flying really close to things, 120 frames per second is going to give you a better refresh rate so that you can react faster, but not much. If you're a cautious flyer like me, you're not going to get close to things that you could probably crash into. And he said that 150 degree FOV is available when shooting at 50 or 100 frames per second. For other frame rates, the field of view will be 142. Thank you for that, Nacho. So yeah, that's in mode. It's probably the mode that I will fly in with the sensors, unless the sensors just drive me nuts. When I got the Insta360, when I got the DJI Mavic Air, the original one, those sensors made me so mad because they just beeped, and I don't know, I just didn't like them. And then this is M mode. Fly in M mode for complete limitless control and full FPV flight experience, customize perimeters, and enjoy flight and footage unlike anything else. So watch this guy do some acrobatics right here. Check that flip. Now these are guys that know what they're doing, that are used to flipping on their FPV drone. It definitely takes some skill, but I'm hoping the app will help with this. I've definitely flown better, flown my Bumblebee back there a lot better since I've been flying in a simulator. So there's that. Now here's the motion controller. It's sold separately. And it looks just like, actually it looks like those thermometers that they have everywhere right now, where they kind of shoot the thermometer on your forehead and see what your temperature is, just to make sure you don't have the virus. That's kind of what it looks like. Take your flight experience to new heights with the DJI motion controller. This compact device allows the aircraft to maneuver based on your natural hand motions. This isn't just an FPV innovation, it's an entirely new way to fly. So let's watch this video. I keep putting my mic on mute. The interesting thing, now this one trigger is black, and then I saw another trigger that was red at one point. So I don't know what the final one looks like. But when I was watching him fly it, I noticed that, you turn it sideways to fly, and then, like, I feel like I can turn it turn my wrist this way a lot more than I can turn my wrist that way. And this just kind of seems unnatural for me to go right. So my drone will probably just go left in a circle all the time. But Stephen Drone says it's almost just like the wand. Yeah, it acts a lot like the wand. Some of the things that are different, I think, from the Unix wand, it doesn't look, I don't know if this is for sure or not, but it doesn't look like, by the footage that they're showing here, it doesn't look like there's safety precautions like the wand has. When I've flown with my wand, you would have to set the altitude and the range that you wanted to fly in. So you could set like only go like 300 feet away from me. And so you'd point over there and it would fly over to that. And then you'd point over there and you'd fly over to that. Or you can use the joystick and move it around. And I think the wand doesn't the wand have like GPS in it? Nacho said the Potato Jet had that controller and found that it was very easy to use. Awesome. I'm going to watch that video later. This is something I wanted to touch on. Nacho says, I like the idea of taking off and landing in N mode and then using M mode for speed. Nacho, do you know that if there's different modes or there's different speeds related to the modes, or are the modes just control the altitude hold and like kind of the horizon and stuff like that? I feel like just like a DJI Mavic Air 2 in sport mode, although it's kind of scary to fly, sport mode with the speed, like Nacho, when you were here and we did that race, I feel like you're going to be able to go as fast as you want to, no matter which mode you're in. That's how I feel. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but oh, Nacho's got some more facts for me. Nice. So N mode is 50 miles an hour. Dang. S mode is 60 miles an hour. And M mode is 89 miles per hour. Holy crap. Okay, so if you've got a 20-minute battery life and you go 89 miles per hour, how far can you go? So let's say 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back in. So actually, I don't know how to do that math right now. So N mode is the only mode with safety. Okay. And in order for the sensors to work properly, they probably can't go very fast. It only has 6-minute flight time in M mode, 20 in N. Interesting. All right, so Nacho's jumping ahead. Let's get into this. Nothing is more important than safety. I love this pause button, y'all. Being able to just hover, being able to return to home are two things that FPV drones cannot do. There are GPS units that you can add to your FPV drones, but I've watched videos where very skilled FPV professionals tried to get it to work. Okay, DJI has been returning to home for years, but yeah, they had to go into beta flight and tune it and just do all these crazy things just to get it to return to home. I'm not skilled enough. to make sure that that happens. I don't trust myself enough to program a drone in the air and make it come back to GPS spot. Nacho's correct. Still a long time in FPV minutes. I get about 5 minutes on my drones, that Bumblebee that I have back there. Stephen Drone says, if you go that fast, you will crash for sure. Yeah, that's what scares me about complete manual mode. It does have an oh crap button. Okay? It does have the pause button, but I don't think I'm quick enough to, like, I'm still a very cautious flyer. And I don't think I can be that cautious at 89 miles an hour. For one, I think I'm going to fall over. Because you get kind of vertigo if you're in the DJI, if you're in the goggles. That's another suggestion for all of us old guys that, if we fell, we might break something. If you're going to get anything that you fly with your goggles, it might be a good idea to fly sitting down, just so you don't fall. I've done several videos with my Bumblebee back there, and I stand weird. Like, I kind of lean forward the whole time. And I think it's because I used to play video games. I used to play like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and I would be like, kind of moving around the whole time. I feel like I do that now because I'm in my goggles and I'm not aware of what I look like. This is another plus. At least you won't burn down the house charging batteries. Charging batteries for FPV drones is something I hate with a passion. I spent a lot of money on a charger. You've got to balance. So this drone has a 6S battery in it. And what that means is it has 6 cells in series. So it basically has 6 batteries in it that are all kind of welded together, not welded, soldered together. But DJI puts out smart batteries that automatically charge. It's still the same technology. It's still a LiPo, but they put all of the intelligence in the charging of the battery. They'll just charge by themselves. There's just a lot of good stuff in these batteries that you don't have to worry about bloated batteries blowing up your house or anything like that. Oh, the home point? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I wish they would give us like all the telemetry in that shot, because it says like return to home in progress, and there's an H on the screen, but the app looks a lot different than that. I wonder if they had maybe when in the making of this video they didn't really know what the app was going to look like yet. I have seen some different fonts. I think it was up on. If you watch this video right here, these fonts are different. See these fonts? I don't know if I can pause it. No, I can't pause the video. And these might be fonts in the goggles. Might be a completely different layout in the goggles as opposed to an app that goes to your phone. Something else is there an app on your phone? I don't think there is. I haven't seen any picture of anywhere to put your phone and to fly through an app. So that'll be interesting to see whether that's a thing or not. So even for experts, manual FPV flight can be intimidating. That's I don't know why they put white text on top of a video. That's why DJI FPV comes with the emergency brake and the hover feature. Simply press the button on the remote controller while flying in any mode at any speed, and the aircraft will stop and hover stably within a few seconds. So let's watch this video. I'm curious about the hover mode. Just because if the specs that Nacho put up here are right, 89 miles an hour, will it stop like my Typhoon stops? Will it take like 10 seconds to come down to a stop because it's going so fast? You know, like if you're driving 89 miles an hour, you don't just, when you slam on the brakes, you don't just stop. You slow down into a stop. So let's see what this does. I want to pause it for a second. I want to look at the fonts. Dang it. Dang it. All right, I'm ready this time. All right, that's hard to see. All right, so let's look at the telemetry real quick. Well, since we have this up, so in is probably that you're in mode. And if he's getting this type of shot in an in mode, then I'm not going in any other mode. In mode's fine with me. If I can get this kind of video out of it, 10 kilometers per hour, 52 kilometers per hour. So it looks like you've got a height and a distance, but I wonder why you have two speeds going on. Not sure. Over here you've got 68, so it looks like he's got 68 battery life left. 12 feet 59 inches. What does that mean? Because he's way higher than 12 feet up in the air. Got 19 satellites. That's awesome. And the goggles have a 77% battery life left. Looks like we've got, it's hard to see on this white snow, but these are bars of connection. So you probably have goggle connection and remote controller connection. You've got 15 minutes of video, 10 minutes of video in your goggles. So this is probably your storage. Something else I like about the air unit and flying with the DJI goggles is you can record on the drone as well as in the goggles. So it'd be great for making YouTube videos. You can turn the telemetry on and off. But there's been a couple times when I've had corrupt SD cards in my drone and I've lost my footage, but this way you can still get some footage out of your flight from the goggles. Horizon gauge would be nice on the screen. Yep. That's another thing. In mode, can you go back to horizon? There's stability modes on the Cinewhoops that I fly. It'll be interesting to see if you can go back to the horizon with that. Steven Drone says, just pull back on the stick. Yep. All right, let's finish this video. There's that beeping. All right. So let's get into emergency brake, advanced safety features, an auxiliary bottom light, smart return to home, low battery return to home. So if you're running out of battery, if you've flown 89 miles an hour for 10 minutes, oh, maybe 3 minutes, I guess. Yeah. So it has return to home, forward and downward obstacle sensing. So if you're going backwards, you don't have sensors, and if you're going up, you don't have sensors. So keep that in mind when you're getting close to objects. All are integrated into the DJI FPV to help ensure safe flight, even at high speeds. So there's the forward sensors. There's a downward sensor. There's TOF sensor. What does that mean? Not sure what that means. Let's go ahead and power through this. So it's got 4 times slow motion, rock steady stabilization, and distortion correction gives pilots even smoother. So let's watch this video. I mean, it's beautiful footage, guys. Beautiful footage. All right, so unreal footage, 120 megabits per second, 4K. That's a high bit rate. 120 megabits per second, 4K, 60 frames per second. Awesome. Here's the Rocksteady. We've seen these videos before, especially on Insta360 site, GoPro site. You know, it's basically an action camera on a drone is what it is. So all the stabilization's happening in the camera, not on the gimbal. But Rocksteady looks great. And I thought I had it right up here. So I am going to do a test and put my DJI Osmo Action on my Bumblebee and do what I think this drone will do with that. So H2, here's the different codecs. They've got H.264 and H.265 video coding formats are both supported, giving you more video editing options. So H.265, I don't even know why we use H.264 anymore, because H.265 has better quality video and smaller storage size. So it's like when MP3s came out and nobody used waves anymore. I know waves are better, but literally MP3s were so good that nobody used waves anymore. So unless you're doing like professional broadcasts or you're making DVDs or Blu-rays or something like that. So it's got OcuSync 3. We're going to run through this really quick because it's already 8 o'clock and I don't want to keep you guys all night. So 28 millisecond video latency. Yeah, let's skip all that. OcuSync basically lets you fly distances up to 10 kilometers. So I think that's maybe 7 or 8 miles. Auto switching for seamless signal. This is something else. Like on the on regular FPV drones, you pick a channel. All right. With the DJI FPV supports auto switching between 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz frequencies. So the video transmission bit rate of up to 50 megabits per second, significantly reducing shutter and compression artifacts. High gain antennas. Now it'll be interesting if this has like a focus mode, like the original Air unit does, because they're like in the middle of what you see is crispy, and then on the edges is poor resolution. So Nacho says it will return to home in like it is in mode. Unlike a photo drone, you're pointing in the way you are going, even up, so your forward sensors should help. Maybe. I don't think the forward sensors will help going up. Just like the sensors are way down here, and if I go up and there's a branch right here, there's no sensors above me. That's what I think. If the signal is disconnected, DJI will automatically enable fail-safe return to home. So I think that is the case in any mode. Committed to the safe skies. Easily replaceable parts. Okay, this is what Special Report McDrone FPV was talking about. So the gimbal camera, landing gear, and top shelf on the DJI aircraft are all modular and easily replaceable. So this top shelf, this camera, and these landing pieces are replaceable. And the props, of course. And then this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is a virtual app. So this is an application in your goggles that you can fly in. And you can learn how to fly. So you can fly it around for months in regular mode, get some cool footage. And then if you want to do some crazy stuff, then this app will teach you how to fly. It's got audience mode. DJI FPV supports audience mode. Just set other DJI FPV goggles version 2 units to your aircraft channel, and you're ready to share the view from above. So right there it says DJI FPV goggles version 2. So I think you're going to have to buy. I hate it that they did that. How many people already have the version 1 goggles and they can't even use them with with this new drone they came out with? I feel like that was, they got to make money, but I really wish they would have released a version that was just the controller in the drone and you could use your version 1 goggles for like $700 or $800. it runs off your smartphone and goggles with a cable. So can you fly it, Nacho, can you fly it without goggles at all? Like just use the cable on into your phone? Or do you have to use goggles and then the phone is like audience mode, like what we're looking at right here? Oh, the DJI Fly app can display the live view from the goggles. Wait, let's go back and read that. The DJI app can display the live view from the goggles on a smartphone when connected via cable. You can edit and share, and you can use spots. So you have to have the goggles for this drone to work, it looks like. Here's the eternal green cap that I was telling you guys about. All right, and here's the price, y'all. $12.99. So this is the last thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about price. Right now, since they just released it today, you can only buy one per customer. So if you have multiple credit cards with different names on them or different accounts, that's how you buy more than one. There is the DJI Fly More kit. Comes with 2 batteries and a charging hub. So for an extra $300, you get 2 more batteries. So you'll have 3 batteries and a charging hub. And each battery is $160. So that's a good deal compared to that one. If you can afford it, get that one. Here's kind of what you get. So you get the drone, you get 2 sets of props. Looks like you get 2 sets. Oh wait, oh no, these are the antennas for the goggles. This is a battery. This is the battery for the goggles. This is the charger. These are multiple cables. This is the strap for the back of this, for the back of the goggles. This is the cover that covers up the camera when you're not flying it, and the controller. So that's cool. Oh, these are better pictures of them. So you get spare controller sticks, so that's nice. So yeah, that's all we're going to talk about tonight. Let me know if you guys are wanting to get this drone. If you use my affiliate link, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah. So yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks to Nacho and Brent and Steve and McDrone showing up, hanging out with me tonight. Hope you guys like this video. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos about the DJI FPV drone, the FPV air unit, goggles. I'm still going to fly the air unit for a while, but I might be selling a couple drones to get this one. We'll see. But yeah, hope you guys like this video. Like, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, and y'all have a wonderful night. Peace out.